All right, so basically, I was talking about Leibnizian physics and Einstein physics. How physics is basically physics would basically be these cross hatchings of energy, and Leibnizian theory would just be well the subatomics of the inverse square law. I don't necessarily think that ring theory is inadequate. I just don't think it shows a lot of resemblance to I don't know, something as modernized as celestial magnitude calculus, things like that. Um, Again, I think they are ignoring just the exposed fact of general relativity. There's also a deal with just the echo chamber and how sequentially the echo chamber would work in a intellectual hierarchy, because no matter what um, sectionally, like when you're dealing with um, sort of like an abstract flow, like propagating uh, arguments for the physical universe, you could do the same thing with philosophy, and you could understand how one suppositional theory for life extinction, like ephilism, if it should be called ephilism anymore, or mosherism or whatever, or just life extinction, understanding that science is saying that there is a sixth mass extinction in progress, and it's that idea that is in opposition to actual life extinction. So, life extinction obviously exceeds um, the idea of, well, in theory, life extinction would exceed the idea of a six mass extinction. So, the optimism lays the optimism standard for a six mass extinction is that um, not everybody is going to become extinct. Um, you could say that it's a well, it's um, zealot, zealous to try to understand a six mass extinction, or try to understand. Oh, sorry, it's zealous to understand a actual life extinction, and then that would entail um, that the whole philosophy is garbage. But I don't think that people are going to really let go of that. So somebody will have to like replace Moshe, for example. And then on the other half, you have, because there's only one thing in opposition, which would be, and that would entail the sixth mass extinction. So if people came to an agreement that life extinction was better than the sixth mass extinction for reasons, well, whoever survives, life might be harder for, there be less, obviously less technology, no oil, things like this. We might be living in the Stone Age, um, and will have known that we reached our peak through carbon emissions, things like that. So all that will be in the forefront of the sixth mass extinction. And then some people will be saying, you could argue that some people, the pessimism might be saying, well, yeah, like we should just nullified our existence in the first place. So I'm just saying it's an argument, but so in the reality is that I mean, this is why general relativity is important, because generally they are connected, they are relative, but there's two outcomes that will precipitate. So one will precipitate that it is basically null, that there is a sixth mass extinction, and life will continue through that mass extinction, and then the like until an asteroid or something like that. Because I mean, we'd only get one shot to do this, obviously. Um, so the idea is that a life extinction would be in opposition to a mass extinction, and the life extinction process um, that would obviously, concur uh, life a lot sooner, or develop uh, life a lot sooner, and the sixth mass extinction life process will go on a lot further, maybe thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years, and that would be in a sort of stone age. Maybe it'd be less than that. I don't know, but it would be pretty brutal in understanding. And the life extinction motif, we would be understanding that yes, we only have one shot to actually kill the we only have one shot to use the extermination machine. So again, you have to have at least I'd say like an 80% range in order 80% agreements in order global agreements um, for the actual life the extermination machine to actually be used. Except, how is this going to happen with people like in South America and people like in Africa that they don't want to? I mean, they just don't want to stop procreating, um, or this idea that they haven't, nothing good has happened for them, which is, I guess, it's like this critical race theory argument, but yeah, it's, I mean, true in many ways. So how um, could we be authoritarian about that? And I don't know how possible that would be. So you basically say that there's like an 80% chance of sixth mass extinction actually occurring, and a 20% chance of life extinction. So yeah. Um, but again, the general relative argument that these are two special cases, and these are two, like, you're presuming that these are two of the only cases. You're presuming that life extinction can only happen once. You're presuming that the six mass extinction can only happen once. That's why I'd say they're special relative to the general relative argument that, like, we're not going to get another shot to actually be able to push the button, so to speak. And then you have, of course, these runoffs, or these deterrents, like sort of like wormholes into, like, 80% of people are wormholing out of the six mass extinction ideas, thinking about their optimistic future and how different forms of green energy or things like that are actually going to help. Not really deducing all the way to the animals and nature and the sea life and all that. Not really thinking about the numbers, not really thinking about evolution in a extraordinary sense, just evolution in, well, a planetary sense, and it was sort of God's will, I would say. So, and that gives you like this 80% of people who have optimism for the future, and maybe like a 20% of people who are maybe more inclined atheists, saying that, yeah, this is the only shot we're going to get at extinction, so we might as well take it. But anyway, figure that's how I kind of roll on. And yeah, I just there's not really much I have to say in terms of I don't know, this whole thing about gravity raining. That's the only real thing that I've heard just today, and there's other inclusions by Pastursky, that, just trying to say that, well, that there is deductibility in general relativity, and that there are derived sequences of events that you can actually, that are calculated and measurable and all that. Um, in these in like the opaque universe. All things considered, there shouldn't be much transparency in the universe, especially when you're looking at it from such far distances. And even if those, and even at that, those transparencies, shouldn't really clarify that there's mock gravity or anything like that. So, um, yeah, I think people just people keep wanting to play with the speed of light and subatomics, and yeah, I mean, you can't have those two. You can't have one or the other, and not be getting into some zealous religious type of argument. I think physics works a lot like argumentation, a lot like logic, a lot like philosophy. As I've kind of tried to point out, as soon as you start introducing those those type of catalysts in the universe, like something such as something such as um, like a zealot isn't going to be able to make an inductive decision, like an induced decision to the betterment of humanity. Well, why would the betterment of humanity be in his hands if the betterment is for extinction? And those aren't real evaluations. Again, like once you add these variables and things like that, it gets out of control. Those are true variables that religion exists in our society, and religion will probably play a part in the inevitable sixth mass extinction because they won't want to cover their or they'll continue to want to cover their eyes to the truth, which is that there is infinite deducibility until you get to life extinction. But in terms of trying to force um, that to happen, again, they'll use these wormholes and loopholes or whatever to surmise that their choice is best and all that. So they're really bad choice. I mean, it's really bad. They're really bad answers, obviously, but one answer is obviously better, and they can't logically deduce that. And yeah, so I mean, it's everybody's being tortured by work and labor and things like that. And yeah, rightfully so. They don't have the capacity to be able to think about to think about something like that, to think about a deduction equation to life extinction. So, rightfully so, but we're talking green energy. We're not talking sterilization. That'd probably be my problem with it. And all things aside, yeah, when you get into like these Newtonian, Leibnizian graphics of the universe. I mean, you could do the same thing with philosophy, except in conjuncture. Your philosophy is for the mass extinction, the sixth mass extinction, and not like the actual extinction of life. I'd say when you have these deducing realities and stuff like that, like these pardons of the universe, or cryptographic analogies to say what you think is to label the universe and things like that. So, and in a sense, both of these things are in an echo chamber, so it doesn't really make a difference. There's always going to be one side or the other. It's always going to be life extinction or sixth mass extinction. So yeah, when you're philosophizing the idea that it's better to whatever, have more labels to the universe. I know they're separate subjects, but anything um, that is contrite with that would have to be life extinction. So you're not really arguing for something that is um, in line with life extinction anymore when you're talking about the labeling the universe and things of that nature. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what I had. I don't think.